Hello, everyone. Dr. King here for your Chapter 8 PowerPoint on professional competence and training. I'm going to go ahead and share my PowerPoint with you. I hope everyone's having a good week. All right. So, professional competence and training. So we're going to talk a little bit about what's required of you in your training and what your ethical obligations are regarding your training and continuing education, as well as my role in terms of gatekeeping and what your role might be out in the field when it comes to getting extra education. I'm going to move just a little bit, and I apologize. I've got the sniffles today. It's allergies, but it is a little bit cooler, which is nice, so I'm happy about that. Okay, let's jump on in. Let's talk about boundaries of practice. So counselors only practice within the boundaries of their competence based on their education, training, supervised experience, and state and national professional credentials and appropriate professional experience. So how will I know when I'm competent? So as a counselor, we are going to practice within the bounds of our ethical code and within the bounds of our training. And in the MSU program, we have a couple of milestones to help you know when you're ready to start practicing. You will take a comprehensive exam in internship 2, and that's a test that is to help prepare you for your NCE or National Counselor exam that you'll take after graduation. So that's kind of the culmination of all the knowledge that you've learned in all your classes. Also, there's a milestone in the program in advanced counseling skills class. So you're taking all this coursework, and you're taking theories and intro to skills. And then you take the advanced counseling skills class. And this is the class right before your practicum. And obviously practicum is the start of your clinical experience with actual clients. So what we do is we practice all the skills that you need to know in that class, and then we'll evaluate you. And you'll be evaluating each other in the class as well. The reason you evaluate each other is that you're practicing looking for the skills, and you're helping your classmates. Don't worry, it's a lot of fun, and it's a very supportive environment, and we're going to get you where you need to be. So there's no need to worry about this, but it's just, a milestone in the program so that we can make sure that you're where you need to be when it's time to see clients. Because we want to make sure that you are confident about your skills, that you have the ability to work well with the clients served, and that you're actually helping, which is, I know, the goal of everyone and what you want. We also evaluate you in practicum and internship. So in practicum, as you know, you have to get 40 direct hours, 60 indirect hours of actual practice with clients at a practicum site. You will also run a group in that practicum, or at least be a part of a group, so that you get the group experience in addition to individual counseling or family counseling, if that's what you're doing. And your site supervisors will evaluate you, and we will evaluate you. So your university supervisor will watch you in a practice session. So we'll either come to your site and watch you and evaluate you, or you'll provide a video. Same with internship. You'll get evaluated in there as well on your skills. So you will get lots and lots of training by the time that you graduate. And that's the goal, right? We just want to make sure that you are fully prepared and that you know what you need to know before graduating. And then after graduation, there are a series of steps that you have to take to become licensed. So right when you graduate, you will take the NCE exam, because you cannot apply for your LPC intern status without passing the NCE. So that's another marker of competence. And then you'll have 3,000 hours of internship post-graduation, which takes approximately 18 months minimum, up to however many years it takes you. And then you get your LPC license. Yay! And so by the time that you have your LPC, that is what the state deems as the marker by which you are able to practice independently. So up until that point, you have supervision in some way, shape, or form. After that, you are independent. And of course, you'll be expected to consult, but you are a free agent at that point. So after you get your LPC license, you are required to obtain 24 hours of continuing education every 2 years. And you can do that in a variety of ways. You can go to conferences. We recommend that you join professional organizations like the Texas Counseling Association, the Texas School Counseling Association, the American Counseling Association, and you can go to the conferences there. They have great educational sessions that can count as your continuing education hours. And you can also, go to local nonprofits and organizations to attend continuing education. And then, of course, if you get desperate, there are some online courses that are really great that you could do. But yeah, you are required to just keep reading and researching and learning. So once you're out in the field, to make sure that you're competent and that you're following ethical guidelines, you're going to want to consult. Don't ever feel afraid to pick up the phone and nurture your relationships in this program, because those people can be really helpful if you're having a question about a case. I know I rely on my friends a lot for my doctoral program, and particularly when I know that they have a specific specialty area. I may have questions about certain things, and they can really be helpful in those situations. Seek extra training. So if you're unsure about a specific issue, from clients when they walk through your door, you're going to read about it, access research on it, because obviously in our ethical codes, we're required to follow evidence-based practices. But you may want to, go to a workshop or a conference to get that extra training, and then talk to people who, are in that specialty area. So when should we refer? We've talked about how we can only refer when we feel like we're lacking competence in a certain area, and that there are other professionals that might be better able to serve our clients. The other circumstance in which we might need to refer is when the boundaries of the professional role limit the help that you can provide. So you want to look at it as sort of a last resort. After you have consulted, you've read the literature, you've tried to train yourself. If you still feel like you're at a loss, or the client needs a higher level of care than you can provide, that's when it's appropriate to refer. So in training programs like the MSU Counseling Program, there are a few things that we have to follow in terms of training you in an ethical way. And that means we have a responsibility to establish clear selection criteria. So we definitely have that. You are all accepted for a reason, and we have a set of criteria that helps us make those determinations. You are provided exposure to major contemporary counseling theories. We teach you the strengths and limitations of theories, and we combine academic and personal learning. So obviously you're getting, a lot of the academic piece in this class, but as I mentioned, once we get into the techniques class, the advanced counseling skills class, and practicum and internship, you're getting practice with real live clients. And so that's going to help you put your academic learning into practice. So you have opportunities for both in this program. We also have a responsibility to gatekeep in the profession. So gatekeeping means that we have to put client welfare first, and So we have a responsibility to clients to make sure that counselors are psychologically sound, that they are skilled, that they are able to provide the services that each client deserves. So what we're looking for is strong character, so honesty, integrity, and the way that you deal with other people, and psychological stability, so making sure a counselor is not impaired, abusing substances, or not working through personal barriers that could impact the counseling process. So what I mean by that is we all have stuff, right? We all have things that maybe we're working through or that we're working to resolve. And that's okay as long as you're aware of that and you have an understanding of where your soft spots are and you're working on those. But there's a difference between that and being an impaired counselor. So obviously, if you have some major unresolved issues that might be triggering you in session with clients in a way that's inappropriate, or if you are struggling with a serious mental illness that has not been treated, like let's say someone has bipolar 1 disorder and they're not medicated and they're going in and out of mania and depression while they're in the program. Well, that's not safe and it's not stable for clients. So we would want you to take a break, get the help that you need, get medicated, and get to a stable place before we continue to allow you to see clients and or move on in the program. That's just one example that could apply to, maybe abusing a substance or other types of mental health concerns, or even major family crises. Sometimes we just have to take a break in our program, and that's okay. This does not happen very frequently. Basically, if you are getting the help that you need, you're managing yourself, you're managing and coping in ways that are appropriate, and you can maintain professionalism and high standards of standards of interactions with others, you're honest, you're respectful, you're professional, you should be fine. And please know that, if you do have to take a break for some reason, it's not the end of the world. Sometimes it's the best thing that can happen to us to take care of ourselves for a while so that we can better take care of others later. So what that might look like is a professor intervening and addressing issues that could be a problem. So what we have in this program is called the Personal Inventory of Characteristics and Skills, or the PICS. And basically this is just a form that, one of your professors could fill out at a given time if there's reason for concern. So for instance, if I notice that someone is, cycling in and out of mania or major depression and it's impacting their work with clients, I might fill out a PICS on them and make some suggestions like seek medical and mental health treatment. Or, it could be anything. So maybe someone's having an issue grasping an ethical concept. Same thing. We could make a suggestion that the person write a paper about that. Or, it could be revisiting the diversity statement or anti-discrimination policies that we have. So it could be a variety of things that we suggest through the PICS. And that would be part of our remediation plan. If the student cannot handle that, or they refuse to do it, or they just continue to not see improvement after that, then dismissal would be a last resort. That's not something any of us want to do. As you know, if you've been in this program a while, we want you to succeed. We're rooting for you, and we'll do whatever we can to try to support you through the program. This is just in the case of, we talked about our ethical obligation to gatekeep and keep clients safe, and also to, help you if you're struggling with something major. And so that's the reason for this. And, the real purpose is to help counselors grow and make their later work more impactful and non-harmful. So if you think of it this way, it's so much better to address something early on before you start working with clients and get that deeper insight into your own processes and into yourself, rather than working for years impaired and possibly hurting someone and not getting the help that you need. So this is kind of a safe environment where we can help you through some things. as opposed to maybe later when it could affect your license or something like that. So let's talk about licensure and certification. So the purpose of licensure and certification is to uphold standards in the community and ensure consumers receive a high level of care. It's also to protect the profession. So, the reputation of healthcare, mental health care providers, but also it's really to protect clients. So when you think about it, if a client goes to a counselor and the counselor is operating at a super low level of functioning, it's harmful to the client, and they may never seek help again. They may also tell their children and their friends not to go see a counselor because it was harmful and not helpful. And of course, we don't want that, because we believe that counseling is good for people, that it helps people, and our purpose is to help, not hurt. So, that's why we have licensure and certification standards. It verifies qualifications and it sets minimum standards, and it doesn't ensure quality, but it can help with accountability. So if people are learning the skills that they need to know and they're following the ACA Code of Ethics, it ensures that, people are getting a high level of care. Licensure governs professional practice, highlights the uniqueness of an occupation, and restricts both use of title and practice of occupation. So not everyone that's running around out there claiming to help people can call themselves a licensed professional counselor. So consumers are hopefully going to be looking for, and I try to guide people on my website and people who find me through Psychology Today, I encourage them to shop around and find the best counselor for them. Hopefully that's me, but if not, that's fine. But what I do encourage them to do is look for someone licensed, because there is a level of standards that comes with that. You can, almost guarantee that person at least is supposed to be following their code of ethics, that they have a certain level of training, that they have, all these credentials that maybe someone who calls themselves a life coach or some other type of helper does not have. And, for some people, maybe that's what they're looking for. They're looking for advice, or they're looking for a certain type of helper, and that's totally fine. But in our profession, we know that there is a standard and a level of care that's required, and we provide that. Okay, well, that's all I have for you. Through this program, you're going to get tons of training. After the program, you're going to get tons of training if you're getting your LPC. So you're pretty much covered in terms of educational requirements for your degree or for your license here. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I hope you have a great day.